Evening. You mind telling me why you're parked back here?
Just waiting on a curbside order, sir. They text when it's ready.
This isn't the pickup lane. Pop your hands where I can see them.
They're right here, officer, on the wheel.
What's in the bag?
Brushes and a box of paints.
An art teacher, long day, just wanted groceries and to go home.
Great.
They shoved a quiet black man against the side of his own car, all because he looked like someone suspicious. They barked orders, pulled at his clothes, called him a liar. They thought they were dealing with some nobody, just another black face they could bully behind a grocery store at night. But what those officers didn't know, that quiet man sitting in paint-stained khakis? He wasn't just an art teacher. He was one of the most decorated intelligence officers the state ever produced, now working undercover on a federal task force. And when the truth came out, the whole parking lot froze. Before we dive deeper, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more stories like this, and comment below where you're watching from. Step out of the car. Now. Officer Brent Halvorson yelled, slamming his fist on the window. Marcus Ellison flinched. He wasn't speeding, wasn't stealing, wasn't even moving. He was just waiting for his groceries. But now, two officers hovered over him like he was a wild animal. Halvorson leaned in close, teeth clenched. "I said step out, boy. Don't make me repeat myself." Marcus swallowed hard. He kept both hands on the wheel, his phone recording in his lap. Officer Kelly Madsen stood behind Halvorson, shifting awkwardly. "Brent, he's literally parked. We just got here." Halvorson ignored her. He yanked at Marcus's door handle. "What? Trying to run? Trying to hide something?" Halvorson shouted. Marcus whispered, voice trembling but steady, "Sir, I'm just picking up my groceries." "Don't lie to me." Halvorson snapped. "You match the description. Dark hoodie, dark skin, old Honda. That's enough." The words cut like knives. Cars passing on the street slowed. A few people stopped at the edge of the parking lot. No one stepped in. Marcus's breath shivered. He had been here before. Too many times. Marcus Ellison looked like the kind of man no one noticed. Paint-stained khakis. Navy hoodie with a small tear near the wrist. Second-hand Honda with a dented bumper. By day he taught art to second graders at Henry Clay Elementary, kids who hugged him, laughed with him, and made him forget the world outside. He lived a simple life. An apartment with mismatched chairs. A kitchen with chipped bowls. A stack of children's drawings taped to his fridge. He didn't look powerful. He didn't look dangerous. He looked tired, gentle, ordinary. But beneath that soft shell was a history almost no one knew. 5 years ago, Marcus walked away from a world of darkness, from a life where he moved in shadows for the state, making choices most people never heard about. He carried medals he never displayed, scars he never explained, and a network of allies who owed him favors nobody talked about. Tonight he only wanted groceries, chicken broth, bread, his kids' art supplies. But in Alabama, a quiet black man alone at night was enough to become a target. Halvorson's voice grew louder. "You gonna open this door or am I gonna drag you out?" "I'm not resisting," Marcus said softly. "I'm just—" Halvorson cut him off with a mocking laugh. "Oh, you hear that? He's not resisting. Yet. What a good citizen." Madsen shifted again, rubbing her neck. "Brent, maybe we should run his plate first." Halvorson spun toward her. "What, you babysitting now? We have a black male in a suspect vehicle. You want to stand here and sing him a lullaby?" Madsen shrank back. People watching put their phones up. Some whispered. Some shook their heads. Halvorson turned back to Marcus. "I'm gonna count to 3. Marcus's heart thudded in his throat. He felt old memories creep back. Dusty rooms, metal tables, harsh voices, the kind of fear that crawls under your ribs. He hated that feeling. He hated that he was used to it. 1, Halvorson growled. Marcus slowly raised his hands. 2. Marcus unlocked the door. 3. Halvorson yanked the door open and grabbed Marcus by the hoodie, dragging him halfway out. Marcus stumbled, catching himself on the frame. "Stop resisting." Halvorson barked. "I'm not." Marcus gasped. But the officer already pushed him against the car, forearm digging into his back. Madsen winced. "Brent, he literally isn't resisting." "Then shut up and cover me." Marcus's cheek pressed against cold metal. His breath fogged the window. His phone kept recording from the seat. The anger, the shame, it burned through him like acid. He wanted to scream, wanted to fight, wanted to run. But he remained still. Because he knew something the officers didn't. Backup sirens in the distance weren't just police. Halvorson slapped handcuffs against his palm. "Suspect detained." "You sure he's a suspect?" Madsen asked quietly. Halvorsen glared at her. Look at him. Of course he is. Marcus's jaw tightened. A black SUV turned into the parking lot. No police lights, no decals. It rolled slowly toward them. Halvorsen didn't notice. But Marcus did. A familiar sinking feeling hit his stomach. They found me? Here. Now. The SUV stopped. Engine rumbling. Its door opened. A tall woman stepped out. Sharp suit. Dark sunglasses. Hair tied back. A presence that froze the air around her. Her name. Agent Reina Cortez. His former commanding officer. She looked at Marcus, pinned against the car, and her expression went dead cold. Halvorsen muttered, not turning around, "Parking lot's closed, ma'am. Move along." Agent Cortez took off her glasses. "You are touching a federal asset," she said. Halvorsen blinked. "Hey, what?" Cortez walked toward them, badge raised. A badge no local officer wanted to see. "Step away from Mr. Ellison," she ordered. "He's a suspect," Halvorsen argued. "No. He's one of ours." Gasps spread across the parking lot. Madsen's face drained white. She stepped back instantly. Halvorsen laughed nervously. "This guy? No, you must be." Cortez cut him off sharply. "You're detaining a decorated intelligence officer. A man who has higher clearance than anyone in your entire department." Halvorsen's mouth dropped open. Marcus lifted his head. His eyes met Cortez's. She gave the slightest nod. A signal. A promise. "You're safe now." "Remove your hands from him," Cortez commanded Halvorsen. The officer froze, confused. "Now," she repeated. Halvorsen slowly stepped back. Cortez leaned close to him, voice low but deadly clear. "You just violated protocol, civil rights, and the dignity of a man who has done more for this country than you will ever understand." I didn't know who he was," Halvorsen stammered. "That is exactly the problem," Cortez said. Bystanders whispered loudly now. Phones aimed at Halvorsen, at Marcus, at the badge in Cortez's hand. Cortez turned to Madsen. "You. What is your name?" "Officer Kelly Madsen, ma'am." "Did you attempt to stop your partner?" Madsen swallowed. "Yes, but not enough." "Correct," Cortez said coldly. "Not nearly enough." Halvorsen stepped forward, defensive. "This is all just a mix-up." Cortez raised a finger. "Officer Halvorsen, you are relieved of duty. Effective immediately." A collective gasp shook the lot. "What? You can't." "Try me," Cortez snapped. Madsen stepped back in shock. Halvorsen's chest heaved, face red, jaw clenched. His authority drained from him in seconds. The crowd murmured, "That's what he gets. He picked the wrong guy." Finally, Halvorsen looked small, powerless. For the first time tonight, Marcus breathed. Cortez walked to Marcus. "Are you all right?" she asked softly. Marcus nodded, though his muscles trembled. His hoodie was stretched. His cheek was red. His dignity bruised. But he stood tall. Kids counted on him. His students. His community. His country. He wouldn't let a broken man break him. Madsen stepped forward, voice shaky. "Mr. Ellison. I'm sorry. I should have stopped him." Marcus looked at her. Saw fear. Guilt. Regret. "You saw something wrong," Marcus said quietly, "but you didn't say something." She nodded, eyes watering. "That's how people get hurt," he finished. Madsen's head dropped. Marcus looked out over the silent parking lot. "Respect shouldn't depend on who someone is," he said. "It should depend on who you are." The words sank deep. Into Halvorsen. Into Madsen. Into everyone watching. The parking lot was quiet now. No more shouting. No more sirens. Just heavy breathing, camera phones, and the soft hum of the grocery store lights above. Marcus stood beside his dented Honda, rubbing his wrist where Halvorsen's grip had pressed too hard. His hoodie hung crooked, stretched from being pulled. His cheek still tingled from the cold metal of the car. Agent Reina Cortez stayed beside him, her presence like a shield made of stone and steel. Halvorsen sat on the curb, head in his hands, realizing his entire career was slipping through his fingers like sand. Officer Madsen remained standing but shaken, shifting nervously, replaying everything in her mind. The shouting, the fear, the choices she didn't make soon enough. People in the lot whispered, stared, filmed, and slowly drew closer. This was no longer a simple stop. This was bigger, something that would stain the town for years. A man in a red hoodie muttered loud enough for everyone to hear. "Man, if she hadn't shown up, those cops would have killed him." A woman holding grocery bags nodded. "I've seen that officer before. Always yelling at somebody." Madsen flinched. Cortez didn't look at them. Her eyes stayed on Marcus. You should go to the hospital, she said softly. Marcus shook his head. I'll be all right. You don't look all right. I've been through worse, he answered. And it was true. He once escaped a warehouse full of armed traffickers with a bullet in his shoulder and a knife wound across his back. Compared to that, Halvorson's grip felt like an angry handshake. But the humiliation, the shame, that hurt more than any wound. Marcus remembered being 10 years old, walking home from school when a police car rolled up behind him. They told him to stop. Told him to empty his pockets. Told him he fit the description. He remembered being 16, pulled out of his cousin's car and forced to sit on the curb while officers tore apart the seats looking for drugs that never existed. He remembered being 22, walking into a store and having a manager follow him aisle to aisle, whispering into a radio, blackmail by the electronics. Keep an eye. He remembered all of it. And tonight felt like every moment wrapped together like chains. Marcus, she said gently, why didn't you tell them who you were? Marcus looked at his shoes, muddy, worn, creased. I shouldn't have to tell them, he said. Black people shouldn't need to prove they're important to not get slammed against a car. Cortez lowered her head, letting the weight of the truth settle. You're right. Her voice cracked slightly, not from fear but from anger she was trained not to show. A teenage girl called out, Sir, are you really a federal agent? Before Marcus could respond, Cortez answered. He is classified at a level most people don't even know exists. The crowd murmured loudly. Halvorson lifted his head, eyes wide, face pale as a ghost. Matson shook her head, whispering to herself, My God. What did we do? Cortez turned to her sharply. What he did. Not we. No, Matson said quietly. I froze. I didn't stop him. That makes me part of it. Marcus watched her carefully. He saw something in her that he didn't see in Halvorson, guilt mixed with a genuine desire to do better. Cortez stepped forward toward Halvorson, her voice like a blade. You physically assaulted a federal operative in broad daylight. Your career isn't just over. You're looking at charges. Halvorson swallowed, shaking. I made a mistake. Cortez's jaw flexed. No. You made a choice. Halvorson tried to stand, but his legs buckled. He fell back onto the curb. What happens now? He whispered. Marcus looked him in the eyes, calm, wounded, tired beyond measure. That depends on whether you understand what you did, Marcus said. Halvorson looked confused. I didn't know who you were. That's the point, Marcus answered. You treat people like they're nothing unless they're someone you fear. The words hit harder than any punch could. Officer Matson took a step toward Marcus. Can I talk to you? She asked softly. Cortez nodded. Marcus did too. Matson's voice trembled, but she kept speaking. I'm not proud of what happened tonight. And I know a sorry won't fix it. But I want to learn from this. I want to be better. Marcus studied her face. She wasn't lying. Fear and truth mixed across her features like a storm. Matson, he said slowly, being a good cop isn't about following a partner. It's about doing the right thing when they don't. Her eyes watered. I know that now. Then start there, Marcus said. She nodded, wiping her face. For her, this night would be a turning point, a scar she'd carry, but one she hoped to grow from. Another black SUV arrived. Then another. This time they were marked. FBI. DHS. State Intel. 3 high-ranking officials stepped out, walking toward Marcus with urgency and respect. The watching crowd froze. People whispered fiercely. Who is this guy? He's someone important. He must be huge. Those are federal cars. One official, a tall man with a gray beard, greeted Marcus with a salute. We came as soon as we heard, he said. Are you all right, sir? Marcus hated that word. Sir. He never wanted to be treated differently. He just wanted to be treated fairly. But the world didn't work that way. The gray-bearded official turned toward Halvorson. You assaulted a high-value federal operative, he said calmly. You violated civil rights law. You ignored your partner. You escalated without cause. Halvorson tried to speak, but the man raised his hand. You will be removed, stripped of your badge, and placed under review for federal charges. Halvorson's face drained white. His eyes jumped between Marcus, Cortez, the officials, and the cameras held by bystanders. His nightmare was happening in real time. He buried his head again, shaking uncontrollably. This was his fall. His breaking. His karma. A woman stepped forward, voice trembling. Thank you for staying calm, she told Marcus. If you hadn't. She shook her head. It would have ended differently. A man in a work uniform added. You handled it better than most of us could. Much better. Another voice. You didn't deserve any of that. Marcus didn't respond. He didn't need to. For once, people saw the truth without being told. The parking lot emptied slowly. Officials secured the scene. Madsen talked to internal affairs. Halvorsen sat in the back of a cruiser, not handcuffed but broken. Marcus leaned against his car, exhausted. Cortez walked to him quietly. Are you going back? She asked. No, he said. I left that life for a reason. But they still look up to you. I don't want to be a hero, he replied. I just want to teach kids how to paint. Cortez smiled sadly. You've always been stronger than you look. Marcus looked down at his paint-stained khakis. That's the point, he said. They only see what they want to see. As Cortez stepped away, a little girl, maybe 7, walked up holding her mother's hand. She held out a small drawing. A little stick figure smiling beside a sunny sky. For you, she said. You look sad. Marcus knelt. His eyes softened. Thank you, he whispered. It's beautiful. My teacher says art makes people feel better, she said proudly. Marcus smiled. Your teacher is very smart. The girl grinned and ran back to her mom. Cortez watched, eyes warm. You see, she said. You matter more than you think. Marcus looked at the drawing again. A stick figure smiling. Sunlight. No fear. No violence. No guns. No yelling. Just hope. He turned to Cortez and said, Tell the guys at HQ. I'm done saving the world. I just want to help kids paint a better one. Cortez nodded, understanding the deeper truth. Marcus placed the child's drawing carefully inside his hoodie pocket. Then he looked out across the empty parking lot, the quiet night, the soft glow of street lamps. Maybe one day, he whispered, people won't need to know your title to treat you right. And he drove away, slow, steady, dignity intact. If you want another story just like this, make sure you subscribe and tell me in the comments. Do you think Officer Madsen deserves a second chance? Why or why not?